I guess a lot of people saw the clown show in Congress yesterday. Eric Adams, the most corrupt mayor in New York City history, took his bullshit on the road. And I'm here at the post office where I was attempting to mail something. I know Crowdsource the Truth viewers get lots of first-hand opportunities to observe incompetent, obese morons disguised as police officers like these two pathetic individuals. Overweight, ignorant morons. These two are federal agents who moments ago were intimidating me, threatening me, saying things about my mother. This is Officer Rivas. He's a coward and a moron with poor orthodontia, and his friend Gil, who's about 50 pounds overweight and was inside, cooking up grinder dates on his phone or something when he should have been paying attention to what was going on in the post office. These two are prime examples of the fat, ignorant losers who occupy law enforcement jobs here at the post office. Now, the reason I'm here is that the post office says you can mail things, and if you choose priority overnight, you can bring it to the post office until 6 p.m. and have it delivered to certain domestic addresses the next day. But because only idiots like those two, and they might be the best example of geniuses working at the post office, everybody in there is rude, they don't know the rules, they don't care, and this is why the post office is losing, 80 million or whatever number of $billion it's losing, and corpulent morons like those two need to be fired. I mean, they're really, really stupid. They're so dumb that they're actually a danger to public safety. Oh, look, and now they have 3 cops there. Hey, is this their supervisor? Let's talk to the supervisor. We're going to have a conversation with the postal police because, you see, this is what happens when the mayor of the city is a criminal. All of the support become criminals as well because they know nothing's going to happen to them. There's just too many gigantic crimes happening for anybody to care about them sitting there doing nothing, and that the post office doesn't function the way that it's supposed to. Excuse me, officer. Officer, are you in charge of these two? May I speak with you? We're going to have a conversation now with the U.S. Postal Police. Now, your subordinate officers were extremely unprofessional. Okay. They threatened me. They cursed at me. They made fun of my mother. They act like 14-year-olds on a playground. This one was looking at his phone rather than the security situation when I was in the post office trying. I'm not talking to you. See, they're rude, they're unprofessional. He gave me an instruction that he contradicted. Then they came outside, intimidated me, cursed at me, berated me. This is a disgraceful way for the U.S. Postal Police to conduct themselves. What's your name?
Officer Sergeant McCarroll.
Sergeant, you need to retrain these 2 officers.
I'm sorry for that, sir. Did you happen to get any help from the inside?
No, because see, on the website, when they take your money, the post office says bring the letter until 6 p.m. and mail it. Then when you go inside there, they say it's 5 p.m. and they don't care. And these guys are more concerned with intimidating people and looking at their cell phones than actually upholding the law. So officers like these two, first of all, grotesquely overweight, are wasting taxpayer money. You guys are doing a terrible job. Should all be fired. Fucking losers. So the reason I am there at the post office is because of another fucking loser, George's mentally ill, wife-swapping, paperclip Nazi brother. You see, he's an obsessed psychopath whose life is meaningless, and so he occupies all his time trying to damage mine. Because my life is excellent. You see, I'm a very happy person, and I try to spend my time doing things that are going to improve the world and help other people. George's brother and losers like those cops are not actually doing anything useful. They just stand around intimidating people because they can. Notice they didn't have too much to say when the sergeant came around. Those idiots were popping off nonstop. Anyway, George's brother is such a loser and such a pathetic waste of cells. Look at this asshole, smiled right at me as he rode up on the sidewalk. Isn't that interesting? Why aren't those cops taking people off the sidewalk? Anyway, his pathetic loser, mentally ill brother, he started a lawsuit against the Air Force and Matthew Benassi, who is the husband of that woman that George was harassing, saying that she was the first COVID victim or something like that, and then stupid Donnie got involved. All of that seems like nonsense, and my first guess would be that the Benassis were involved. So now George's asshole brother is suing that guy, and somehow the case has come around to getting me involved. But I'm not a party to the case. And so I need to file by mail. And that's what was happening there at the post office. But you know what? Now I've given George's brother a strategic advantage because he knows this letter will not be there tomorrow because the post office is run by fat, incompetent idiots like Rivas and Gill, who should be fired. You know? By the way, if you're going to put on a badge and a gun, even if someone is rude and tells you you're a fat loser, you're not 15 on the playground at recess. Cops should not be making fun of people and antagonizing them and saying your mother this, your mother that. Unacceptable. In fact, those videos will be sent to the Postmaster General. I'm just listen. George's brother, those assholes, all you fucking people. I've been doing nothing but sitting inside that apartment for 4 days, writing shit. If it's the last fucking thing I do on earth, George Webb's brother will take his last breath inside a jail cell. I've never hated a person in the way I hate that person. And the rest of my life is dedicated to putting you in jail, Dave. You're gonna go. And you're going to hate it. You're going to hate it. Because you know what? Every single person who I have ever spoken to who has met or interacted with you, and it's a long list now, they hate you. Your own father, your pathetic waste of a son, they all hate you. You are a detestable individual, and when you get to prison, everyone there is going to hate you too. The post office should close, and those assholes should be fired. But will it? I don't know. So Eric Adams, what was he saying in there yesterday? They asked him all kinds of questions. Ocasio-Cortez, I can't believe it. She actually had me wanting to learn to speak Spanish. I was like, damn, Alexandra. Mucho calor. But the point is, she was like, hey, Eric Adams, did your lawyers speak to anybody from where did she say? From the city council? Or she was asking if Alex Spiro had spoken to somebody, which leads me to believe that maybe, what are you doing? Don't fucking do that shit. You just almost got a punch in the head. Fucking asshole. I'm not in the mood. Everybody thinks they're so damn funny. Sneak up on somebody in New York City? Terrible idea. I wouldn't do this, but you could get stabbed in the throat. So Ocasio-Cortez seems to think Alex Spiro was speaking to people, and you know what's interesting? I think she's right. There's a lot of things that I want to tell people right now, but I've actually already said too much. I'm not trying to hold anything back from the audience, but you got to keep in mind when I tell you things like I wasn't able to send this letter, it gives the opposition an advantage that I don't want them to have. So they asked him if his lawyers had spoken to anybody in the city council, which is not a question specific to his case or anything that Judge Dale Ho, who's apparently got hoes in all different area codes, Eric Adams kept saying, well, out of deference to Judge Ho, and they were saying that's a non-answer. You're not answering, you're refusing to answer. And then Anna Paulina Luna referred them for criminal prosecution. But does that ever do anything? That criminal prosecution referral? I hope so. I mean, maybe it's the best that Congress can do, so they're trying to do something. I mean, frankly, the way it should work is that if Congress makes a criminal referral, it should automatically open a criminal investigation. Because you see, we need a check and a balance against this prosecutorial and judicial discretion, because it's abused regularly. You see, those two idiot cops, anybody who's given any authority, it seems more often than not, is just prone to abuse it, particularly the ignorant, the small-minded, idiots without teeth like those two guys. I mean, postal police, please. Can we just fire all of them? Do they do anything but sit in the post office looking at the phone all day? You know, George's brother has sent countless defamatory and fraudulent statements, false statements to law enforcement through the mail, threats to my octogenarian parents through the mail. Those tattooed assholes just sit there booking grinder dates. Pathetic. Really pathetic. There's so much to say right now, but it would be strategically unwise. I can't reveal certain things yet, particularly not now that this thing didn't get sent. You know, it's just so stupid. The post office does need to go out of business. It works like shit, and the people working there have a terrible attitude. Every single person working at a job who doesn't treat it with the importance, you have to treat it like it's your own business. You have to work hard at whatever you do, otherwise quit, go home, and just don't even bother. And you know what? This attitude is trickling down to losers in police uniforms. Ridiculous. I'm back over here on 31st Street. You know, I really haven't been cruising around New York City at night too much for the past very long time, because we know that all the cops are losers and criminals rule the streets. So it's only less safe at night. But of course, I was jamming all day to finish this damn thing and get it to the post office in time for the cutoff. Why can't they change the website when they change the cutoff? She said it used to be 6 o'clock, now it's 5 o'clock. I bet you $1 they could have just taken this envelope and stuffed it in the bin and it would have gone out. That's what they would do at FedEx. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to FedEx and they'll like run outside, get the driver, oh, he's still here, you can send it. Because that's a business that cares, And the people who work at it care about their jobs. Anybody like those asshole cops or those asshole post office workers who act that way should just be fired. We have so many people looking for jobs. Fire anybody like that. Look at this. Chinese weed store. Weird. Yeah, the weed stores are opening back up now. See, this is extra dangerous because if there is anything crazy that's going to be going on at the Walcott Hotel, doing it under the cover of darkness would be the smarter thing to do. Sushi bar, look at that. Who's coming over here for that? I guess people at the hotel. Yeah, nothing. No, there's been no activity over here for some time. And, you know, I don't know, occasionally I see people posting stuff like, oh, there's still migrants at the Roosevelt Hotel. Yeah, we know. I mean, they've been clearing them out for sure. See, why has there been so much national discussion about the Roosevelt Hotel? Has anybody heard anybody say anything about the Walcott Hotel except for me? Seems like the Roosevelt Hotel was the limited hangout. Get everybody looking over there while the real sinister activity is happening over here. So whatever, the post office can go fuck itself. Frankly, FedEx can too. But at least the people working there, I mean, when you walk into FedEx, you can tell the people there are happier with their jobs than the people at the post office are. Why are people, you know, and they're like, oh, well, they need that job. Okay, then don't be so miserable. Try being nice to people and maybe you'll like the job better. You know, why is the line so damn long in the post office all the time? Is it the most in-demand thing, or is it that every single person in there is so dedicated to doing everything as slowly and inefficiently as they can that there's always a line? I think that's the case. So really the bulk of what I want to speak to everybody about concerning Eric Adams, I can't talk about yet for reasons that really have very little to do with George's brother, although he is a factor. How can I describe this? I need to wait until tomorrow, but something extremely, I mean, this should be national news, but I can't even talk about it at the moment.
They're just like, hey, look, man, like, if they come,
and it may become that still. Looks like Trump is in the process of signing more executive orders. What has he said about the Epstein thing? I don't think we're ever going to see that. Now look, here's this Virgin Hotel. This was gonna be a casino, but I think they decided no. I guess it's done. Electric shuffle, cocktails and shuffleboards. I don't know, is that a thing? Are people gonna play shuffleboard? That seems like a big bet on a not that popular game. Shuffleboard. Who knows? Maybe every bar will be shuffleboard by next year. No way to know. Yeah, but anyway, I haven't spoken about this yet. I don't think I should say anything. Anything I say will I was going to do a counter lawfare report tonight, but cannot. I've spent the last 4 days Yeah, I don't mean to be cryptic, but anything I say about this, I just don't want to give George's asshole brother any opportunity to get in any further than what I already had. This Washington, D.C. mess, come up with a way to resolve that. But, yeah, I just can't really say anything. Might get an ulcer. Yeah, I mean, people say that, high blood pressure, this and that. Look, here's another legal weed. They're all opening back up. Oh, they're open already, this one. Housing Works. Oh, yeah. So, see, this makes no sense. Housing Works is a homeless charity that is now allowed to have weed stores. We need a total overhaul of the nonprofit sector. Every single nonprofit that currently exists should be forced to reapply, and there should be a rigorous screening process where if you are found to have violated the law in the past, is this Elon Musk? You're going to be given a short period to pay the money back or else get in a lot of trouble. And then moving forward, basically, you're going to need a pretty damn good reason to be nonprofit. I thought of something else. See, instead of charging a tremendous amount of taxes, giving out all this money to every country under the sun, why don't we give zero money to any country and then not charge anybody taxes, and everybody who supports Israel can give their own money to Israel if they want. Everybody who supports Ukraine can give their own money to Ukraine if they want. I would be giving money to no other country. Super rich people who love other countries can give money to whoever they want. And let's let those countries advertise on television and lobby to the public rather than to Congress. Congress should be focused on carrying out the business of that co-equal branch of government, which a major portion of the work that they do should be holding hearings to impeach judges, so that anybody who becomes a judge says to himself, gee, I better not act like a corrupt fucking criminal or I'm going to get my ass dragged in front of Congress and I might go to jail. Judges should be afraid of breaking the law instead of making it their hobbies, which most of them seem to do. They just do whatever the hell they want consistently. And people say that and you're like, oh, I don't really, Larry Klayman said that to me years ago, and I don't think I had a very clear understanding of it. But hopefully tomorrow, at some point, I'll be able to clarify everything that I'm saying. I realize it's annoying to have to, talk about it like this, but Harry Atkins tells Kramer, also a general. What is this? Oh, from Seinfeld. Yeah, I mean, he was making a joke about the postal police. No, that was the library police, wasn't it? Did they have the postal police? Oh, because Newman worked. It was the library police. Mr. Bookman came looking for the lost library book or something, right? No? I don't know. We got a Seinfeld trivia session breaking out now. Well, anyway, the days are getting longer, so I had hoped to have more of an opportunity to kind of walk around and check things out, but it's dark now. Wow, this place got a D on energy. The Hayden Hotel, the General Michael Hayden Hotel. Did we hear anything about the criminal referral? I just don't think those mayors really care. I mean, basically, Eric Adams is on the verge of establishing that the very act of being New York City mayor means you can't be indicted, because then you lose your security clearance and then you can't be mayor. Well, okay, but no, that's a problem. What should happen is you should be temporarily sidelined as mayor, and there should be a deputy mayor who takes over while you're incapacitated for any reason, including getting indicted. So we've got some screwy business cooking up, and there's something else that people might not have noticed, is that very quietly a few days ago, it was announced that Elon Musk's bodyguards have been deputized by the U.S. Marshals, giving them the legal right to carry concealed weapons in any city in the United States. I wonder if they did that because of all the noise that I've been making about what seems to be an illegal arrangement between Eric Adams' NYPD and Elon Musk's security that played a role in me getting strangled. I wonder. It's like a windstorm out here. Jeez. Wow. This is crazy. There's just too many people who are too focused on being selfish, lazy, thieves, steal from other people, hurt other people. Really, really bad. The other thing is George's brother, he's kind of taken on a new posture. Sure, he's been suing me constantly for the past 8 years, but it seems like since Trump got back in, there's a desperation on that side because they know they're losing, Obviously, there would be a lot more things they could do and resources they could rely on had stupid Kamala Harris won. If you thought she was stupid, I heard today somebody said that Jasmine Crockett is going to run for president. Okay, what's next? Sexy Red? Jasmine Crockett is an idiot, hood rat loser. This city, that's the thing, is that attitude of Jasmine Crockett, like those losers in police uniforms, if you're gonna put on a gun and a badge, you have to adhere to a higher standard. You have to have, you can't engage in petty arguments with people because frankly, when you do that, you're escalating the situation. That guy says, oh, your mama this and that. He's trying to get me to do something like attack him so that he can then arrest me. And you know what? There's no way that can be allowed. It's one thing when you're engaged in an arrest and suppressing somebody, but we need a whole new way for police to interface with the public. The training is awful. Anyway, that's all I have to say right now. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully I'll be able to explain more tomorrow.